Welcome to Alchemy Avenue, where we transform in real time, trust the vibe, and grow on purpose. This isn't just a podcast, it's a movement, a reminder that you don't need fixing, just unlocking. Around here, we laugh, we build, we heal, and we elevate, all powered by that deep inner knowing that says, this is exactly where I'm meant to be. You were made for this version of you, so let's expand, let's enjoy it, and let's keep becoming who we already are. Tap in. This is Alchemy Avenue. Welcome back to another episode. Today we're going to do some building and just a little different way of co-creating on today. Today we're going to have real questions, real life, real alignment. This episode is going to be a little different only because I didn't have like really a specific topic that was like, yeah, let's dive into this. To be honest with you, I've had a lot of interactions this week with people I know and people I don't really know, where they were opening up to me about situations, and I just lend, my opinion, or maybe I didn't necessarily say much. I just create a space for them just to express what was going on and then ask questions, not to fix, but only to help whatever they're trying to think about and trying to figure out, just kind of help them understand where they're at with the ideas and what the next steps would be. So it's been a really interesting week in that regard, because again, people I know that, we just kind of just catching up and just talking, and then they'll say, hey, I got this going on, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, and then just holding space for just listening and being, just helping, whatever that means with helping. If it's advice, I'll give it, or if it's just holding space, that's what's been happening. And the funnier part of it is that the people I don't know, the information, granted, it does happen a lot to me, but this week is more like, it was more consistent, very more consistent. People asking, they're not asking me specific questions, they're just asking a question about, their life, or they'll say something and I'm like, oh, wow, and I'll just give, whatever I'm thinking or whatever I'm feeling to give. Not saying I got all the answers or do anything like that. However, situations happen like that a lot before, and normally I really don't say much, because I like to just, because sometimes, people can tell you too much stuff. You're like, whoa, do I really need to know that? But take that as, and this is just what I have told myself and what, has been given to me. Take that as you do open space, you do hold space for people to be seen. Once you do that, once you allow people to just feel seen and feel like they don't have to necessarily not hide when they're interacting with you, it's just natural for people to, whatever's been building up inside of them or whatever they've been holding in, it's really, they expect the resistance. They expect someone to, I guess, prejudge or whatever. But when you don't, or it feels different, stuff just comes out. It just spills out. So that's how I take it. So this episode, though, what we're going to do is really just kind of go through some questions that I've been asked, maybe not directly, but from the conversation has sparked the question. It's, we're going to go through as many as we can. And so I didn't want to force, a topic or a subject. This seems, okay, let's do this, because this did happen. And then my life, has been doing what it do. So, because I had a uncle that passed, we celebrated him last weekend. Then of course this week, and then my birthday is next week. But either way, it's Aries season. So let's definitely acknowledge that Aries season. And it's not even just Aries season. It's now depending on your belief, all the other, it's a lot of planets, about 3-4 planets in Aries, the mid heavens in Aries, the sun I think is in Aries. Like, if you're Aries, it's popping right now, all in the stars, the cosmos and everything. So I'm excited, more excited. I try to always be excited, but I'm more excited because, again, it's Aries season. Why not? So let's get into it. Definitely get into it. So this first question, and this is really a question that happened from, kind of sparked from a conversation I had with actually a couple of the fellas that was asking me questions about different things that have been going on, and did they respond the right way? And I tell them, it is a right and wrong way. But again, the fact that you question what you did because you want to make sure you're in a good space mentally is the growth part. You know what I'm saying? So this first question, what do you do when you don't feel respected as a man in your immediate family and with like your in-laws and even your next step of your own family? What do you do? So, I mean, this is a real question, and that could be tackled and could be explained from a few different areas. It's just depending on the situation that could be going on. But the aspect that I want to harp on is the respect aspect. So, respect isn't something that you force. You can't force it. It's really something you embody. You have to really embody it. I'm not saying you tolerate any disrespect. You should never tolerate anybody trying to mishandle you, misuse you. You should not. But you also don't chase that, though. You don't chase it. And the respect we may say it's transactional, like I respect you, you respect me. Yes, that is what you want per se, but for me the next level of that is, and this is why I was telling them, is that, bro, you got to respect yourself first. You have to respect yourself. And I was like, yeah, I do respect myself. And I said, that's cool, but respecting yourself is not over explaining yourself, not second guessing your decisions, not looking for approval before you move. And of course, if you need to do something, if you're with, your wife or girlfriend, and you need to do something and you need to let them know because it's going to affect everybody, then you do that. However, and then you create space as well. So you made it. So I got this decision I want to make. I need to let them know. So let them know this is what I'm going to make, and this is why I'm going to make it. A lot of us as men don't know how to articulate the why because we haven't fully leaned into the decision ourselves. That's what I was telling them. Everything that you're doing it with a good heart, but be confident in how you moving it and how you presenting it as well. Because you can have the best plan in the world, but if you can't tell anybody about it or explain it, and then sometimes people just don't get it in a certain space, be able to unpack it in this. This is why I want to do this. So this is what I want to do. This is why I want to do it. Be confident in that explanation. And then it can be received better. But to me, it always starts with you. It always starts with you, no matter what. And then also too, a lot of us men, and women too, but specifically men, what we tend to do, and this is just again from conversations and just me being a man myself, we tend to harp on past decisions or past things that we've done, especially the people that's close to us, and they know, oh, we did this, now we trying to do this. It's okay. That situation has passed and is done. You learned your lesson. Now be in a space or you release that. Again, even if somebody brings it up, it's all about understanding who you are and your growth and your clarity at this now moment. I'm not saying forget what happened in the past. You learned that lesson. Do not let that haunt you, creep up. You learned the lesson. Even if somebody brings it up, explain that. Yeah, that did happen. I definitely learned a lot from that situation. But this is where I'm at right now. This is how I feel right now. This is what I want to do right now. Again, that's why we talk about on this channel about understanding yourself, unpacking those different things in your life that you already know. I want to do better. I want to respond better. I want to be in a different space. Unpack those things. So then the other things you need to unpack that are deep, 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 you can start to work on those slowly and surely. So it's about the respect aspect is about you respecting yourself, being comfortable. I'm talking about super comfortable. Like it's not even a question of who you are to you. You good with you. So now you can move. And then with everybody else, then you're able to talk to everybody else. You don't have to be mad. You don't have to be it don't have to be a big blow up. I mean, words may get, exchanged because when you come with that type of confidence and come with that type of clarity, people are not going to understand it and they're not going to be in a space. I'm saying most times, because again, you may start to create more harmony and balance once you start doing this. And now whenever you explain yourself, you're able to come from a space of just clarity of how you explain it and telling people, hey, look, I know we want the same thing, but I would like for this to happen like this, especially if you're dealing with kids or if you're dealing with anything. Understand how powerful your voice is once you understand how powerful it is. It's not, I mean, it's still powerful, but it's powerful in a way that you don't want because you don't feel confident about it. Because we're always manifesting, we're always creating. Your words are part of that process. So understand who you are, move with clarity, love yourself, especially forgive yourself because you're still here. You're still able to move and operate. So do that. That's just my take on that, because it can be lonely, and it can be what I'm trying to say, it can be, so yeah, of course it can be lonely, and it can be a struggle to grow in specific areas in your life. It can be because you can feel like you're the only one making strides to, improve yourself. And not to say that you're perfect, but the way that you want life to show up for you and the way you handle situation, you just want to do it differently. I think that's what the main thing is. And once you start doing that, and once you start seeing your results, you want others, especially people that are closest to you, to have the results as well. That's not you can't. Unfortunately, you can't have the results for them. They have to have their own results, unfortunately. So question 2, I've been through lots of trauma. How do I move with clarity now? So our past really does matter, but it doesn't get to control our future. Your past is context, not your identity. Your past is context, not your identity. Clarity doesn't mean you don't feel anything. It means you don't collapse into what you feel, because you have a choice. You always have a choice. You always have one. Just understand that clarity isn't the absence of emotions. It's present within it. Okay. So being in a space where you went through what you went through, it was everything that it was. But now you're in a space where you want to be more clear in how you move. You want to be able to better make better decisions for you and then this now moment and moving forward. So with everything that you went through, everything, and it's always going to go back to trust. Everything you went through, whatever that takes for you, if it's therapy, if it's journaling, whatever it is, to just start. To me, you have to just start, because even when you go to therapy, it's really, for me, I'm just explaining, it's really just a reflection of what you need to do for yourself anyway. So being there, because you're the only one that can help you. But talking it out, unpacking, especially the main things, the big main things that you need to iron out and process. Those are the things that, again, if you want to journal, talking to someone, if you, some people, I mean, you want to meditate and pray, do that as well. But if you need to talk that out during those times, do it. Do it. If you need to meditate, and the meditation is, I'm talking out the issue. I'm crying out the issue. Because now I want clarity on how I can step forward in this new space of, this is what happened. I don't want it to control me anymore. I don't want to allow this to burden me anymore. Now I want to move differently. Crying, talking it out, writing release letters. Release letters are powerful. When I say release letter, you write it and you address it to whoever you want to address it to, or you can address it to a group. You write everything down, everything. Then you read it, however you want to read it to yourself, read it out loud. A cool way, but you don't have to necessarily do this. You can be somewhere and you can, if you take a hike and go to the top of a mountain, you can read it out there. Or if you're in the woods, read it out there just to get it out. You can yell it, whatever you want to do. Then you can burn it. So you can rip it up, but then you burn it. So it's, again, whatever you want to believe with how you move. But again, a release letter, then burning it, is very, very powerful for you to get all of it out off of you, because your body stores that information. So to me, that's the best way with going through not the best way. I'll say this is one of the ways. I say, yeah, man, I say best for me, from my perspective. One of the best ways is to figure out what the main thing is right now. That you like, I went through that and this is just hard for me to get over. Start with that. Start with trying to just identify it. And then if you need to tackle that in small steps, do that. Because some people say you should start small, but if the small things aren't necessarily affecting you as much as this big issue, that you gotta tackle that. You gotta, again, like they say, you gotta eat the elephant one bite at a time. So I didn't have that question specifically, but talking to somebody at work that I did not know, and we were just talking about different things, and then it was like, yeah, I've been through a lot of trauma, and I just at times, she said, at times I just hate myself. I said, whoa, whoa. I was like, and I said, whoa. She's like, yeah. I was like, I'm saying again, I was like, I don't want to tell you what to do, but I would never tell myself that, because regardless of what you've been through, you have and I say this, a 100% success rate. You've went through it. You're here. Now it's your choice on what to do with it. How do you move? How do you step over that? But the people, I say again, I get it. The people have done what they done. They have done it. It was done. So now you get to choose, though. Do I want to stay in this space because you're not happy? Or do I want to just take my time and figure out where I want to start with unpacking this? And now I just got to start unpacking it. And she just looked at me and was like, wow. No one has ever told me to move like that. And I was like, it's just something, again, I'm not a licensed therapist. I'm not a licensed doctor, none of that. However, that's just the information, that came to me for her. And I was like, okay, that's very interesting. So number 3, what if I'm doing the work, but still feel off? And that goes into a few episodes that we have done. So feeling off doesn't mean you fell back. It just means you're integrating, really integrating, because your mind and your physical body are two different things. Your mind can have a breakthrough. You have the different things, but your body it's going to take a lot of times takes a lot of time to catch up because your body has so much stored trauma and so much stored information from the past. So now when your nervous system feels like it's in that same space where you used to have anxiety and you used to tense up, it's going to still repeat that pattern. Now you have to retrain yourself to move in a different way and let your body know, you okay, I'm okay. It's okay. We're good. We're in a better space now. So we're good. No need. You gotta train. Almost you gotta work. You gotta work at it. Because situations in your life are not gonna stop happening. They're gonna still happen. And you still have to show up. And how do you show up? So now you get to choose how you show up. So even though you continue to do the work, continue to do the things. And then when you still feel off, just unpack it. Why am I feeling off about this? Is it truly my body? Is something really off? So again, you got to be able to be in a space to make a decision, understand, is this something that I've created? Is this mine? Is this truly discernment of a situation, area, or presence that I don't need to be around? Is this trauma? Unpacking it. And it happens fast. I mean, that's a lot that I listed out, but all that happens fast because but will you trust the information is the thing. Will you trust the information? Because you may second guess, or you may say, oh no, I don't know if it's that. If that's one of the first things that came once you ask, or once you felt like I need to ask, now you get that information. Trust it. Start there. So how do I trust myself more? For me, how I got to be able to be in a space where I trust myself more is small promises kept consistently. It's that simple. Small promises kept consistently. So I'll do something, or somebody do something, I do it. And again, it's not everything that I say, oh, I'm gonna try to get this done, and I just, for some reason, it doesn't happen. But most things that I try, especially if it's something for me or something, I just listen. Those things that come to me, okay, I need to do this. Let's do it. So even the smallest things, it's like getting gas. Let's go ahead and get gas now, or go ahead and get up and do this. Go ahead and call this person. Go ahead and get this. I try to just go ahead and do it. That just helps me understand my inner voice. And then on big decisions, the voice doesn't feel foreign to me. It feels very, very familiar because it's that same one that I have been listening to do all these other little small tasks. And it's telling me now to do something, or if I got a question about something, I hear the answer or hear the direction I need to move, and I do it. Boom. So small promises kept consistently. Self-trust is built in small moments, not big ones. Number 5, how do I stop overthinking? So to me, you don't stop. You outgrow overthinking. Overthinking is what happens when trust isn't fully established yet. So you outgrow it, and what I mean by outgrow it is that there's no need for it. There's no need for it. Again, it still happens to me. Situation will come up, and I'll get the answer, or I get the direction I need to move, because I may not get the full answer. I may get, this is how you need to move in this, and then I'm an overthinker. I used to be an overthinker. So but for me, it's trying to figure out, okay, I'm doing this step, but if this is A, I'm trying to figure out what it would B, C, D, E, F. I'm trying to understand all the steps, because I want to know everything. I want to know because that's how I think. That's how I plan. That's how I operate, even in my job. I'm thinking from the start of the process to the end of the process, and what do I need to do in between that to get to that start to the end? How do I navigate that? And I'm trying to see it. And okay, this is what I need to do. How, and then this happens, how I need to pivot. So that's just how I naturally think. So you outgrow that mindset by just, again, this big, the main thing about all this is trusting yourself. That's the main thing. If you don't get anything out of all these questions that I'm asking, trusting yourself is the main component. And how do you build that? And everybody's going to be different. Everybody's going to be different. So the way that it may unfold for me, as far as trusting myself, is going to be different for somebody else. But I'm just here to let you know, one, you can do it and you will do it. Find what works for you. Trust that and move with confidence in it. I'm telling you, once you'll stop. You'll stop not going crazy, but you'll stop having mental fatigue once you outgrow, or once you see there's really no need to overthink. Your mental fatigue, because I think a lot of us now, we have, of course, that's physical fatigue, but then you're so mentally fatigued when you leave like work, or you leave like, spaces where you've been doing things all day. It's because you try to process everything. You try to figure every situation out in your head, and you try to prepare yourself for their different things. And you don't have to do that. You don't have to do it. It's okay for things to just naturally unfold. And you just know, the knowing part is knowing that everything's going to be in good working order. So so number 6, how do I know if I'm growing? Look at your reactions. Growth is how quickly you return to yourself. So just check how you react to things. Situation happens, and again, you make a decision to either do this or do that, and then you oh wow, okay, I didn't want that result. So now that right there, just the fact that you question that's growth. That's a big growth. The fact that you question that, and now you get into a space where something happens, and then you got your whatever decisions you can make in the situation, and you just smile because you're like, okay, I'm gonna move like this. And the thing about it is too, you move like you want to. So you get into a space where you react, and you just you have chaos, or things then aren't as harmonized as you want them to be. Then you get to a space where you can see the choices, and you make the one, and you still, not as satisfied. Now you're in a space where, boom, you know which choice you want to make, and it's not a choice that you necessarily like, oh, it's the better choice. It's the choice that you feel most confident and you can live with. That's the choice. I don't know if that makes sense. Like, again, if you feel like you have to stand up for yourself in this moment, other times you may not feel you have to say anything. This time I'm not going to say anything. So that right there, your silence, or you removing yourself, or you just not doing nothing, is the choice that you're good with. But this time you may have to stand up for yourself, and you're good, and you're super good with that. Be good with it, because that was the best choice. That's what you felt you needed to do. And to me, I don't think you never not need to stand up for yourself when you know you want to. I guess you choose your battles, and you good with it. You good with it. So to me, that's how I can tell I'm growing. And then just with conversations with people, just because again, this is the question I got. Just in the middle of a conversation, one of the homies was like, "Yo, I don't just think I'm growing, bro. I don't think I'm in my mind. I just don't feel like I'm improving the way I think." I said, bro, and I know my man's past. I said, bro, he been through a lot. I said, bro, you been through a whole lot, man. And it's gonna seem chaotic and seem crazy at first when you start to try to make better I guess, quote unquote, better decisions or more harmonious and clarifying decisions. It's going to seem that way. But bro, just the fact that you even asking and the fact that you even question it, that's growth right there. So keep doing it. Keep doing it. That's what I told him. So number 7, what if people around you aren't growing? Lead them to be where they are. Your growth is not a group assignment. Again, your growth is not a group assignment. It's pretty simple. If people around you aren't growing, how do you even know? Really, how do you even know? They may be in a space where they just got the options and they just keep choosing, the one that's allowing them to learn the lessons they need to learn. For you you shouldn't have to worry about if people are growing. And I know that's hard, and it may be like, what you mean? People should grow and expand. I mean, they should, but can you control that really? Can you control what other people do? You can be an example. Even for your kids, you got to be an example. You have to be an example because that's really, be honest with you, those are the ones that really are watching you. Those are the ones that's really paying attention to not everything you say, but how you move. They're analyzing your conversations on the phone. They're analyzing your responses to things in life, how you respond to things on TV, how you respond to people in public, how you interact with family and everything. They're watching all of that. And to them, that is data. That is definitely data. So your growth is your only concern. That is the only concern you have. So number eight, how do I handle triggers? So you don't rush to fix them. You observe them. A trigger is information, not a problem. It's data. It's data. You collecting data. Okay, wow, I feel angry. What? Oh, why do I feel so angry? They said this. I feel, check. You got to check yourself. The situation happens. Then now you get to unpack the why. So now you got work to do. That's just part of the work. That's exactly what the work is. You unpacking why this triggered me, why this sent me into anger, sadness, why this put me in a state of disappointment. Whatever it is, you have to unpack it. And again, one bite at a time, one step at a time. Start to unpack it. Write down the information. Write down what happened. This is what happened. And then now you get to decide how you want to move different. What if I feel like I'm losing myself? And to me, the more than I kind of felt like this a few months ago. So you actually are. You're losing yourself, and that's okay. You're not necessarily like losing, but you're really releasing what doesn't fit. So I guess in a sense you are losing, you're releasing that old version of you and old versions of how you think, how you used to articulate, and how you used to move. You're releasing it, and that's okay. But at first it does feel shocking because you have identified as whatever you have identified. And now when it's almost like turning the page, like you've been reading a book and you still in the middle of the book and it's still like a lot. So the pages left, but of course you got words and you may have pictures in the book, but then you turn the next page and there's nothing. And you look at the other pages, there's nothing. You're like, that's shocking because now you're in a new space. You have created a new, for me, what was revealed to me is that you created a new foundation. Now you get to build from harmony, clarity, and precision. And it's going to be amazing. So it's okay to grow. It's okay to feel like the old versions of you are beginning to dissolve, or you just don't even want to be that version no more. It's okay. So question 10. What does alignment look like? And that's that. Only to me, only you can answer that. Only you can answer that question. What does alignment look like? So it's not perfect, not aesthetic. It's not always peaceful. Alignment is how you move, not how everything looks. So only to me, only you can answer that. But for me, what alignment looks like just me being in joy, being in a space of comfort, and not saying because everything is happening the way that I want it to. No, despite whatever's happening. And when I say despite, I'm talking about everything. Despite everything that could be happening, I still feel joyful. I still feel clarity. I still feel at peace. I still feel that everything is going to work out. And I still know that everything is going to work out. And that's how I move, regardless of the situation. Challenges come. Yes, I still feel that way. To me, that's what alignment looks. And then I get to move how I need to move. So this last question, because I got other questions. I don't want to, this episode will be 2 hours if I go through everything. So this last question, though, and I think this is a really, really important question here. So how do I feel comfortable expressing myself creatively? So this is not about creativity. It's about identity. You're not afraid to create. You're afraid to be seen differently. This conversation came up so I do a lot of different creative things, and I don't mind sharing them with other people. So I do like the light language, I speak the light language. I also do like custom frames for people, and I do some other, just some other creative stuff. So, and then one of the homies was like, "Yo, I'm trying to get into," because he want to do like pottery. I said, "Bro, go take that." They got mad classes for pottery. Man, I'm gonna look crazy in there. I said, why would you look crazy in there? It's a pottery class. Everybody's there to do the same thing. He was like, "Yeah, you're right." I said, "Bro, you tripping." I said, "Go to the pottery class. That's what you want to do." Cause he can paint. He can paint real good. And he was like, "Bro, this would be dope." I said, "Bro, you paint. Like, you're doing a pottery class. You learn how to do pottery. Then you can paint the things you make." Like, you know what I'm saying? He was like, "Yeah, that does make more sense." I was like, "Bro, I'm like, bro, you tripping." But even if he didn't paint, if he wanted to do it, like, do it. Like, seriously. He's like, "Bro, people gonna be, my family gonna be like, why are you doing the pottery and all that?" No, bro, who cares? If it lights you up and it's not hurting nobody, and it really doesn't affect nobody, but you know what I'm saying? So do it. Like, again, it's wild the different things we can, because we're so masterful and we're so infinite, and we already are creating, but we can create these weird situations in our head, and next thing you know, pottery is, he's thinking pottery is supposed to be, something that is not. Bro, go ahead and do it. Because even when I was talking about some of the stuff I do, and I was at the barbershop, and I was just telling them some of the creative things I did. It was like a group of us just kind of talking and building. And it was like, man, I wish I could do that. I was like, bro, you can. I was like, you got to find your own lane, though, if you want to, whatever it is. So you're not afraid to create. You're afraid to be seen creating something new. And it's really not us we're worried about. And it could be, but I think it's more of the outside perception of who we want people to think we are. That's what we're afraid that is going to change. And that's cool. Why wouldn't it change? People may be inspired because you're doing something new. Oh boy, doing pottery? That's what's up, man. I ain't never thought about doing, something like that. But dang, I've been wanting to do. But even so, even that don't even matter, because you should better move, create, and be comfortable. It's about being comfortable in your own skin. And people may get it, and the most important part is they may not get it, and that's cool too. So, so it's a lot of different things that you may want to do. Paint, you may want to do explore tarot or some other kind of divination or anything. It's other things you may want to do. You may want to start swimming consistently. You may want to start riding bikes. You may, again, anything, whatever that is, just do it. Just start to do it. Seriously. So I'm glad I was able to go through those questions, because the main person that we need to connect with is our own self. That's the main person we need to connect with, because then once you're in that space of connectivity with yourself, you're only better for everybody else you deal with, because now your decisions are clearer. You have more confidence in how you move, and it's okay. You're showing that it's okay to be who you want to be, your full authentic self. So really at the end of the day, all this comes back to one thing: how you show up for you. Not perfect, not flawless, but intentional. Because life isn't about having all the answers. It's about knowing how to move when you don't. So you don't need to figure everything out. You just need to stay in line in how you respond. Don't forget, Avenue Talks, 336-464-7881. Alchemy Avenue 859 at Gmail, and Alchemy Avenue on Instagram, David Heck on Facebook. So again, don't forget the light code Prince 11/17. Look, just get with me. Got the numbers, got the email. DM me, email me, or hit me up on the number. Either way. So love yourself so you can love others. Ashe.